Israel is increasingly posturing to invade and occupy Gaza. Allow me to offer a word of warning to the powerful and distant who seek to rule over the local and entrenched. It doesn't always turn out like you think. America believed we would liberate Iraq. Instead, it was a bloody quagmire for a generation. We were told the Afghans wanted us to save them from the Taliban. Turns out the Taliban is back now, stronger and more weaponized than ever. All we got in return were caskets draped in flags. Here's why tonight matters. Earlier today, Israel's Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu met with senior security officials to hammer out Gaza war plans with the vision of the IDF taking military control of the entire territory. Bibi is ready to do this even if it means that Hamas might harm or execute the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza. On this program, the father of an Israeli hostage, Yehuda Cohen, told us that Bibi's primary concern was himself. What do you think matters more to the Prime Minister, maintaining power or getting the hostages home?
Maintaining power.
Bibi's priorities get clearer by the day, and it doesn't seem to include President Trump's desire for peace. President Trump wants the killing to stop. He is the greatest voice for peace in the world. Israel wants to occupy Gaza, and if that seems distant and far away and foreign and not important to your life as you watch this program, last night, the former chief operating officer of our nation's government, Donald Trump's former chief of staff, told you you'd be paying for it. Do we have to pay for this at the end of the day? Are the American people going to be funding an Israeli occupation in Gaza?
Well, I mean, as you know, the appropriations, the Senate will not be shy about asking for that on behalf of Israel and our foreign allies there. But listen, this gets down to not an occupation that I would necessarily recommend. Maybe this is a way to go after Hamas directly. That's one thing. If it's a long occupation, somebody's going to pay for it. And I can tell you there's not an appetite for the American people to do that.
So do you, my fellow Americans, want to pay for Israel to occupy Gaza? A new Gallup poll released last week shows only 32% of Americans approve of Israel's military action in Gaza. That's the lowest mark since Gallup began asking the question 2 years ago. Public support for Israel's war in Gaza is a melting ice cube in America. No serious person who can count will dispute this. 60% of Americans disapprove. It's safe to say if you don't like what you're seeing in Gaza, you probably don't want to be the one paying for it. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Republican with a clear understanding of base sentiment. She posted a rather strident message on social media recently, quote, "I can unequivocally say that what happened to innocent people in Israel on October 7th was horrific, just as I can say unequivocally that what is happening to innocent people and children in Gaza is horrific. And why should America continue funding this? The secular government of nuclear-armed Israel has proven that they are beyond capable of dealing with their enemies and are capable of systemically cleansing them from the land. We are beyond fed up with being told that we have to fix the world's problems, pay for the world's problems, fight all the world's wars, and many of us, even though we are Christians, no longer want to fund and fight these wars, especially when it leads to starving children, killing innocent people, including Christians." Of course, why is the U.S. funding Israel's effort in Gaza? Is Mark Meadows right that we're going to be paying the bill? Do you want to pay for Israel to become the neighborhood crime watch of whatever is left of Gaza City? Are these reasonable operational questions to ask without being called an anti-Semite?
Well, Netanyahu, it's been clear from what we're seeing in Israeli media and comments from Netanyahu and his top officials that they're getting prepared for a major escalation here. The idea is to capture the remaining territory in Gaza that is not completely under Israeli military control, which is only about 25% of the Gaza Strip. And right now, you know, the idea of an escalation in Gaza at this point is very concerning, considering the daily death toll that we see is around 100 people per day. I know a lot of people might question the numbers from Gaza's health ministry, but there's been several studies that find they're actually likely an undercount. And we all see the pictures and videos coming out of Gaza every day, these people getting killed on their way to aid sites. So things have been really horrific lately, but they're looking to take things to the next level, it looks like. And unfortunately, it looks like the Trump administration and President Trump is willing to back Netanyahu, with this big escalation, even though we see many former Israeli security officials, about 600 of them, just wrote a letter to President Trump asking him to force Netanyahu to end this. And the reason why they're asking Trump to end this is because he is the person with the power to get this to stop, because Israel is so reliant on that U.S. military aid. And even with these starvation deaths that we're seeing in Gaza, the Trump administration still appears ready to continue backing essentially whatever Netanyahu wants to do in Gaza.